So hey guys, this is Darren with Rogue Studios. So this is the Glock I was using all day. It's just a regular Tokyo Marine Glock 17 with a modified hammer spring to get rid of light striking. It also has a Ready Fighter Fowler Industries Mk2 slide. It comes with a stainless steel outer barrel, steel sights, black cover plate, and which is pretty cool. It's because it sort of looks like a combat Glock, if there was ever such a thing. I also bought a SAF stainless guide rod, and the only reason why is because it looks very cool when you pair it with the stainless steel outer barrel. Next is what I have inside the slide. So this is a stock recoil spring, stock hop-up chamber. Everything on the hop-up chamber, inner barrel hop-up rubber is all stock. And over here I have a MAC nozzle with a stock Tokyo Marine Glock 18 piston, which works pretty well for me. I don't know about you guys, but it seems to work well enough for me, or good enough for me. As for the blowback housing unit, now this is the special thing. This is actually a product announcement. This is or product spotlight, so to speak. This is Ready Fighter's prototype of their RMR Glock 17 blowback housing unit. So this is basically the second company to come to the Airsoft market with a Glock 17 RMR blowback housing unit that's commercially available. It's because the previous solutions from Guns Modify and from Ace 1 Arms, those are not commercially available. Only Guns Modify's zero blowback housing unit is available. Basically, this is the only option that you have, and this design is absolutely horrible. Is because basically with this movable cocking point, that's the reason why it has a zero hammer. It doesn't have a traditional Glock 17 bump. Instead, it uses this to cock your hammer. So basically with this, I can never make the cocking of my hammer smoother. Keeping in mind, whenever you build your Glock 17, you're guaranteed to put a harder hammer spring in here. So me not being able to make it smoother because of this movable cocking point is very, very annoying. So I really don't like to use this blowback housing unit. That's the reason why for my own personal slides, back then when I bought some Guns Modify SAI slide kits, I used to have their old blowback housing units. I still use those, but you can't buy those, right? So that's really annoying. Very unfortunate that they decide to do that there. But for Ready Fighter, thank God they stepped up to the plate and decided to make one. So they have a 17 bump, but you will notice that the size of the bump is a little bit smaller than you expect. And that's because they already do a bit of an IPSC mod for you already. So this basically means that right out of the box, if they decide to keep the specification, right out of the box, it means that the cocking of your hammer will feel a little bit smoother and the rotor issue is reduced. So with the stock recoil spring and everything, you can tell that this is a stock recoil spring, but you'll notice that it can almost go over the rotor by itself. Right, this is very unusual for a Tokyo Marine Glock 17 that's mostly stock. There's not too many parts here that has been changed out. And it's all thanks to this, basically. This basically changes well, actually, it's very simple. Like, people have been doing it for years on Tokyo Marine Glock 17s. It's just that for RMR Glocks, it's sort of a very slow market, mainly because it's very expensive to buy everything, but basically this makes it a lot easier for you to work on it, right? Any beginners that are new to RMR Glocks, right, in the future, it just means that you can just buy this, slap it on, and you can have a relatively well-functioning Glock 17 with an RMR slide, right? So that's pretty neat. Now, the next thing to talk about is their piston design. So their piston is actually skeletonized. It's not very clear on camera, but you can tell that it's skeletonized. It is made out of metal. But what's special is how it's centered. So you see the second screw that's in front of the sight screw? The stainless steel one, that's the sight screw. This black screw, that's for the piston. So now you don't have to eyeball the center of your piston anymore. For the Guns Modify one, you have to eyeball it. Basically, when you're installing the piston, you see that screw over here? That's how you secure the piston. Whenever you're installing it, you just have to make sure just eyeball it to make sure that it's centered, and then install it, and then have red thread lock on it. That's the best thing that you can do. If it's not centered, your nozzle will break. The tab that has the nozzle spring on it, that will break. It will wear your nozzle out, so on and so forth. So with this, it's already centered. So that's to my understanding. When I don't know if this is correct, but I'm pretty sure that they're gonna assemble this for you when you buy it. It's because it's just, well, it came assembled when I got it. So, but this is just a prototype. So don't quote. So don't, you know, anything you see in this video, I'm not entirely sure will change, but I highly doubt it will change. Is because it works brilliantly already. So I'm very happy with that. Actually, this is a pretty smart design. If I don't say so myself, like that's actually quite clever. I never would have thought of that. I still advise you to add red thread lock over here, just to make sure it's extra secure. Besides, after you add red thread lock on this, you're never taking apart the piston anyways, right? Because the piston cup just comes off like that, right? You don't need this to be taken off every single time. Just red thread lock it, which is what I did. So that is the Ready Fighter Glock 17 RMR blowback housing unit. I don't have an ETA for you. I don't have a price for you. And I don't know where it will be available yet, although I predict that it'll just be available in Boom Arms. If you're living in Hong Kong, obviously it will be available in Gun Street. But I don't have a pricing, and I don't have a ETA on when it will arrive. But so far, that's something you can look forward to, is because actually they'll probably price it cheaper than the Guns Modify one, since it's quite simple. The Guns Modify one, they give you a hammer and everything too, right? Which we already probably won't use anyways. So they're probably just gonna sell you just a straight blowback housing unit. It's probably gonna be cheaper, and it works brilliantly, as you can tell in the video. I'm actually such a big fan of this that I might keep the stock. All I'll do is that I'll get a garter frame and stipple it, and I will do my power upgrades, like upgrade my inner barrel and my hop-up rubber to step up the power. It's because right now, this is only shooting 0.9 joules, which is very weak. That's more or less the same power as you would get from a stock Tokyo Marui Glock 18, which is pretty weak. So I'm not too far off it. 0.9 joules, pretty good already. I can easily bump this up to 1.1 or 1.2, right? So with just the inner barrel and hop-up rubber upgrade, probably. I'll do an update video on this build in the future. If you guys are interested, just let me know in the comment section. Anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Merry Christmas. All of you guys have been having a great Christmas so far. I know if I've been, it's because I've been eating so much meat and rice that I'm basically going to go into a food coma until New Year's. So anyway, guys, that's it for the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Please feel free to check out my Facebook page, which I will have linked in the description box below. And if you would like to support the channel, please check out my website at raidtacticalsolutions.com, which will also be linked in the description box below. Peace, guys. Happy shooting, and thanks for watching.